Oh yeah, we've got another PCGS unboxing video for you guys, and this is episode number 19. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure. Welcome back to the channel. We have another PCGS unboxing video. It's episode number 19, and I actually have a couple of orders that I submitted mainly for my set registry of my Morgan dollars. And so this order right here has 10 coins in it. There's 9 Morgan dollars and a Mercury dime. Now, you said in the last unboxing video, you guys enjoyed me kind of going through my thought process. Well, there's some rare coins in here, and so I went ahead and made this submission a U.S. Gold Shield with a $2,500 max value per coin. So, here's the breakdown of what we got in here. We'll cover them as I expose them. There was 2 coins I was concerned about on this submission, an 1893 key date Morgan dollar. I can't tell if it was cleaned. It looks like it was clean, so it doesn't have the greatest details, but it is a key date, and so I put no grade or maybe a good 4 or good 6 grade on it. I also had a damaged 1942/1 Mercury dime that I cherry picked out of an album. So if I don't get damaged, it's definitely got some XF45 details on it. So those are the 2 I'm most worried about. And then there's a couple of other ones that don't have the highest grades, but again, they are rarer Morgan dollars, and so the declared value is a lot more for those coins. Either way, 10 coins, an average of $738 declared value per coin. So some definite rarities in here. Hopefully I get the grades. Hopefully I get straight grades. And yeah, not much else to cover until we get into the box. Let me go ahead now and cut out the cardboard on the outside of this and grab the PCGS box out of the inside, as well as remove my invoice, and then we'll get this unveiling going. All right, I've got the black box, the PCGS black box out of it. I was going to tear this tape off and take the invoice out, but I wanted to show you that it's still sealed anyway. But let me go ahead and take this security tape off, take the invoice out, make sure I have it oriented correctly. And we'll be starting with the reverse first because that's how it's going to be packed, which will be the Mercury dime. Let me get that off. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, well, we've got our first coin exposed, and yeah, kind of a letdown. I can see it's genuine, not gradable. That being said, really quickly, I had an idea, and I'll show the damage that is on the reverse of the coin, but I still thought it'd be an XF45 details, and if I was lucky, I wouldn't get dinged for the damage and get XF45. Now, I insured it for $675, and if I bring up the 1942/1 overdate, as you see here, and we go to XF45, you can see the PCGS price guide is $675. That's how I know I thought it would have XF45 type details. We already know it's only going to be a details coin because it says genuine, not gradable. And on the back of this coin, there is some damaging in the field. You can see it right there. Definitely have a pretty heavy ding and scratch. I can show it under the scope, but you can see it naked eye. I thought it was minor enough that it might get a grade, and it's on the reverse, but apparently that must be the reason why it didn't get a grade. This coin was purchased for only $2 out of a book. So between the $2 out of the book, the grading fees and everything, I'm into it for 70 bucks. And if it gets XF details, then a lot of these have sold recently for about $550 to $600. Not that I'd sell it, but I'd still come up pretty nicely. Let's see if we got XF details. And we did. PCGS genuine, damaged, XF detail, overdate FS 101. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it under the scope. I'll show the overdate and I'll show the damage. This is about what I thought I'd get. I mean, I guess XF could also be XF40. It just gives you the range, unfortunately. Let me get it under the scope, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at the damage and the overdate. So we've got the coin under the scope. It's an easy one to see. 1942/41, and actually both the Denver and the Philly have examples like this, although this is the more heavily doubled one. I say doubled, overdated one, because the other one is just a lot more faint. They actually did a better job on the 42 Denver of polishing out the overdate. Let me go ahead and show you guys the damage on this coin, and you let me know. This is the damage. just this little bit of damage right there. And there's also a ding, if I recall, somewhere down here on the fascies. Maybe I'm missing. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. So that ding right there, some damage there, and the damage up here is what kept it from getting a straight grade. Man, that's pretty tough. It's not even that bad. Either way, I'll take it. Like I said, we're into this coin for about 70 bucks, and it's at least a $500 coin or more, but it's one I needed for my collection, and it's not a bad start. It's the kind of start we thought we'd get, and yeah, what are you going to do? Now we're going to go into 9 different Morgan dollars. And again, a lot of these are more rare. And so I finally bit the bullet and said, I don't know when I'm going to get a better condition coin than the ones I already have raw. So let's just go ahead and submit them, see what we get. And then if I get upgrades down the road for the registry, I'll do that. The first coin is going to be the 1904S. I have it slated as XF40 and the value is 525. And if I bring up the 1904S right here, you can see the value 525 in an XF40. That's how you know that's the grade that I thought it would get. We know we have a straight grade. I don't see any genuine details. And again, these aren't going to be fancy coins. These are just the best that I have of some of the more rare Morgan dollars. 1904S, you can see it's definitely got some wear, but we do have most of the feathers on the eagle. The breast feathers are just about barely wiped away, but overall decent details, a good rim, and hopefully we got an XF40 or better, of course. How did we do? And we got exactly an XF40. You can see it has a lot of the hairline details. There is a slight rim ding of a marinated edge right on her cheek, or at least right next to her temple. But overall, a nice looking coin for the circulation grade that it got. And yeah, XF40, we'll take that all day. That's a $525 coin. And I don't remember what I got it for, but either way, definitely didn't do too bad. And again, it's not going to break records on my set registry, but now we have a registered Morgan dollar XF40 from 1904S. Definitely not too bad. I'll definitely take that one. Well, next up is going to be the 1896-0, and like I said, these were tough calls. I did not have this slated as a potential non-grader. I said AU55 on this, and that barely put it above the $300 spending limit, because even though it's a $2,500 max value, anything under $300 in value, I could have submitted for, I think, $20 less a coin for grading. Well, this one's not even going to get a grade, and that's a bummer. I'll have to see what they said, but it definitely looked like an original coin to me. And yeah, I'll have to see what they said. We even have some of the cartwheel effect on a circulated coin, and you can see here, it definitely has some of the breast feathers, but all New Orleans minted Morgan dollars are tough on great strikes. But we'll have to see what they say. I guess now that I see it in the plastic, there are some remaining luster points around the motto, and maybe they think it's cleaned. Let's take a look and see what they say. And did I even get an AU details on this coin? Yeah, we did. 1896-0, PCGS genuine, AU details. What a bummer. Man, I didn't see the cleaning on this one. That's what they're saying, cleaned AU details. But, you know, it's hard to tell when they're AU and you have some luster break. It's just hard it's hard for me at least. But I guess because around the devices, it's definitely more lustrous. Maybe they feel like it's been cleaned at some point. Probably missed this one. Had to give it a shot. AU details. That's a bummer. But we got the type of grade I thought we'd get for the details. Just not a grade, which means now I need to find another one from a registry, because even though it counts, it doesn't add any value or any points really to the registry. Well, the next one I figured would get no grade. I bought this 1893S key date Morgan dollar in a G4 details grade price. Now, if it gets a straight grade, it's worth a lot more than $2,500, but the submission is only $2,500, so I can only max it out at that. And if it got a details grade, it wouldn't even have a value there, so that's why I did that. I'll tell you right now, I already saw, we have a straight grade. So no matter what, this coin is going to be worth more than $2,500. I'll probably get a service adjustment fee, and let's see if we got G4 or G6 like I thought. 1893S is a key date, tough Morgan dollar, and I picked this up on a hunch. It looked clean to me, but I picked it up anyway because I thought, man, if I could get a straight grade, that would be awesome. And we did. I paid G4 condition for this coin. How did we do? You know what? I will take that. Holy cow. VG08. Look at this coin. Doesn't it look clean to you guys? It looks clean to me. It looks clean to me. And I only got a deal on it because even the dealer who sold it to me said, yeah, it's definitely a clean Morgan, but I'll go ahead and give you G4 pricing because it probably has a little bit better than G4 details, more like G6, I thought. And we got a VG08 straight grade on this. I do not need to replace this coin. This was a book filler for me, and I only submitted to make sure that it was authentic. That way I could resell it and then try to buy one for the registry. But now we have a straight graded one. 1893S. I need to find out what the VG08 book value is on this one. Let me go ahead and do that really quick, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, we've got the PCGS price guide up for the 1893S. First and foremost, only 100,000 of these were minted originally. It's a tough coin to get. Now, you do want to make sure you check the diagnostics on this coin. Don't just buy one without making sure it has this little die line right here on Liberty. Now, when they're heavily circulated, it's hard to see. I brought mine up, and you can barely make out this line right there. And that's what I noticed. I figured it was one that was genuine because I could barely see the diagnostic line on the T. Again, it's hard to see when they're worn, but I did see it, so I took a chance. Take a look at the grades on these. This coin is extremely valuable. I mean, even in a G4 condition, this coin books for $3,800, and I got it for $2,500. So I got a steal on this coin. And then when we move it forward, VG8 is $4,500. So yeah, I'm into this coin for roughly $2,550, and it's worth $4,500. And man, as you move up, each tick in the grades just flies up in value. Take a look at the mint state ones. In a mint state 60 only, 190 grand. A mint state 63 is almost $500,000. Absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, you know what? We got a low grader for the registry, but we got a graded coin. And I'll tell you right now, I thought it was cleaned all day. So I will take this. Thank you. That's a big win. I would have rather had this get a straight grade and this get cleaned like we got than the reverse of that. So, man, that is a huge win for me. I'm shaking a little bit because we doubled our money almost on this coin. It's a straight graded 1893S. Holy cow. Did not expect that whatsoever. Next up is another low quality Morgan dollar, but a tough date 1893 CC. I figured find 12. Book value at $750. If I bring up the 1893C and I bring up fine 12, $750. So that's what I'm shooting for. A mintage of only 677,000. We can see we got a straight grade. I'll show you this coin. It is in rough shape. Look at the dings on the reverse on the rim. I was just hoping for a straight grade with fine 12 details. And you know what? We got a straight grade no matter what. Let's see if we got the fine 12. Again, pretty rough shape, but these are coins that are tough to replace, and they're coins I've bought over the years, and I just didn't want to pay for the grading fees, but I just want to get my registry filled out. Fine 12? No. Just a tick off. VG10. You know what? It's got the rim ding, as you can see on the front and the back. I knew that would be a tough call, but I still thought it was insignificant enough to get a straight grade. We got the straight grade, but obviously it probably has fine 12 details, and they dinged me a point or two for the damage. Either way, VG10, I'll take that. I don't know what that book's for. VG10 is still $650. I mean, they're selling for less, but that's the book value. That's what I had to insure it for, and definitely will still take it. The most recent sale was $456 at that. Still a tough coin, still a nice coin overall, still has good eye appeal. And again, this one did not look clean to me, of course, and it's not, but definitely is heavily circulated with a little bit of rim dings, and that's probably why we got the VG10. I'll still take it. That's a good grade. We're not doing too bad whatsoever. We're going to continue on with the 1893O. You can see I submitted 93O, CC, and S. I had this one a little bit better, VF20 for $550. Let's see if we got the VF20 on this coin. And as you can already see, it's a much nicer coin. There's no dings, a little bit more feather details, and New Orleans minted. Got a straight grade, always a good sign. Did I get the VF20? Ooh, we got a little bit better. VF25. I will take that. So a little bit under on the last one, a little bit over on this one. I'm not familiar with the VF25 book value, but we know it's going to be more than $550 because that's what the VF20 book value was at the time of submission. Really nice looking coin. Again, another tough date. Let me bring up the price guide and I'll bring you guys back in a second. So here's the 1893-0, another tough Morgan, only 300,000 minted. And VF25, okay, so it doesn't really go much up from VF20 to 25. It's not till you hit 30 or 35 in the VF range that you start seeing more profit. But you know what? I'll take it. We thought 20, we got 25. A recent sale has basically been over $500, so you can't get mad at that. Another good one for the registry. Probably one I'll replace down the road when I can afford to do so. But for now, definitely a good registry filler. 1893 New Orleans. Next up, we have an 1891cc. Now, I did pay for the VAM on this one, VAM 3 Spitting Eagle. It's a top 100 Morgan VAM. I've already brought it up on PCGS. What you're looking for is this little tiny die chip coming out of the eagle's mouth. That's why it's called the Spitting Eagle Top 100 Morgan Dollar. And I have it slated as AU58, which is $725. Now, it's selling for a little less than that. Again, that's the book value. I knew it had a high AU type details. I knew it was going to get a straight grade. It got a straight grade. Did we get an AU58 on this bad boy? I will put it under the scope after I expose the grade to show you the Spitting Eagle. It's definitely, at least in my opinion, a Spitting Eagle. I've actually diagnosed a few of my subscribers' 1891cc's as Spitting Eagles, and they got them. So I'm pretty certain I'll get the VAM designation. And as you can see, there's a lot of luster on this coin and very little wear, but there is a little bit of circulation wear on the coin. Very beautiful 1891cc. I'm sure it's going to get an AU something. Let's see what I got. A little bit less than I thought, AU55, but you know, it's tough to tell the difference between an AU55 and a 58. We still got a mid to high AU grade on it, top 100 1891cc, VAM 3 Spitting Eagle. We got everything we expected to get. Let me stick it under the microscope and I'll show you the Spitting Eagle on mine. All right, always tough to see when there's some toning and some discoloration, but you can see this little die chip coming right out of the eagle's mouth. So definitely a VAM 3. There's a couple of different VAMs. I think VAM 3 and VAM 7, and they're very similar. You have to use other diagnostics on the coin to figure out which one you got. But we'll take what we got. AU55 is not bad. Man, it's nice getting an 1891cc with an AU55 details, let alone having a top 100 VAM associated with it. It's a beautiful looking coin, and I know I'm not showing the coins as much because, again, none of these are high mint state. There might be a couple coming up at the top, but none of these are really high mint state. They're really just registry fillers for me. And yeah, we're not doing too bad whatsoever so far. A bummer here, a bummer here, a couple of ones that I didn't expect, and another one that's right around where I thought. Not too bad whatsoever. Next up, we have an 1890cc, and I put XF40, and this is a slider here because the declared value is 340, and like I said, had it been under 300, then I would have been able to submit it for less. So if we got anything less than an XF40, if we got a VF35, we could have submitted ourselves with $20 in savings. But that being said, we do have a straight grade, 1890cc, another book filler for my collection, another registry filler. It's a pretty nice coin overall. There's a little bit of damage on the back, as you can see, a little bit of scratches, but it's on the reverse, and they're pretty minor, pretty superficial, so I didn't think they would impact the grade, and it looks like they didn't as far as getting a grade. But do we have an XF40? We do. Ooh, that was scary, because had it been a VF35, that would have been a bummer. 1890cc XF40. We're hitting some of these right on the nose, and I've been submitting so many Morgans lately. I think I'm getting better, although I still have issues with some of the older ones being cleaned, of course. But either way, we will take that. 1890cc XF40. Looks like we hit it right on the nose. $340, barely hit the threshold, and you can't get mad at that. Next up, I have probably the highest graded coin on here, or at least as far as the submission grade. 1882, it's pretty common but it was such a nice example that I figured it crossed over the $300 value. But here's the thing on this one. If I recall, if it gets less than a 65, even a 64, it's well under that. 65 was the uptick in price. So I took a gamble. I could have submitted this on a different submission, but I was like, man, it's really nice. Let me see if I can get that 65 on it. And it's coming up right now. 1882, take a look at this beauty. We'll spend a little bit more time on this one. Absolutely stunning. No circulation wear, a little bit of toning around the rim. I mean, I like when they have a little bit of toning, and it looks absolutely beautiful. There is a tiny scratch on the left side of the coin between the eagle's feathers and the wreath. That could hurt a little bit, but I didn't think it would take off a lot because when we see the front, it's a beauty. Did we get an MS65 on this common 1882 Morgan dollar? We did not. We did not. MS64, and if I recall, that's the cutoff there. And you know what? There are a few dings, a few slide marks, but look how clean overall the cheek and the fields really are on this coin. There's a small ding here and a slight ding there, but I didn't think that would keep it from being a 65 because it's absolutely stunning with very little chatter. Man, 64, if I recall, that's going to put the value way under 415. I'll have to bring it up. Let me bring it up and see what the value is. Probably overpaid on grading that one, but let me just double check. Yep, just as I thought. I brought it up, 1882, very common in most grades, even in Mint State 63 grade, pretty common price. And then take a look, it jumps up from 64 to 65. And so only $160 value on this one. What a bummer. Still a good number for the registry, but man, needed that 65 to make it worth it. But I'll still take it. What can you do? We're still getting some wins. That's a tiny loss there. Still a good grade on a nice Morgan. The last one we have is the 1879-0, and man, this was a tough call for me. Looked like a slider to me. I was thinking it was MS62, but if it was an MS62, it doesn't hit the right value, so I figured I'd make it an MS63 because then it puts it at the declared value of $475 above the $300 value. So another one that I'm probably pushing my luck getting a 62 or a 61 on, but I insured it for a 63 just in case. 1879-0, relatively common, but in high grades fetches a lot more value. And for a New Orleans minted Morgan, you can see it has great breast feathers, a well-struck coin, and good fields on this coin. Let's see what we got. Wow. AU58. I knew there was a lot of chatter. This is why I dinged it from an MS63 down. But AU58? This coin has not been circulated to me. This coin should have been a low mint state, in my opinion. I know it has heavy chatter. I know it does. But it's got full luster, no circulation wear. They must have thought it has way too much chatter right there in the fields in front of her face and on her neck. There is a pretty good slide mark there too, but still, AU. One of the nicest AU coins I've seen. Sorry, I'm a little bit bummed. I did not think I'd have a below mint state grade on this coin. I was thinking 61, 62 no matter what, and I insured it for 63 just because I needed the value to be above $300. Holy cow. AU58. Let me bring up the PCGS value on that one. Definitely overpaid on the grading on this one as well. All right, 1879.0. I brought up the PCGS price guide. You can see 63 is $475. That's what I insured it for because 62 is only $260 and I wanted every coin above $300. That's why I paid a little extra for it. But we didn't even get the 62. We didn't even get the 61. We didn't get the 60. We got AU58 for $125 and recent sales are not even barely around $100. So definitely finishing on a bad note on this one. I know it's got some marks, but AU58 is tough on an original luster coin with no circulation wear. Oh well, what are you going to do? We were due for another bad one. We've had some wins. Overall, I am not displeased with this order. Yeah, I figured that would hurt. It did. That was a surprise, and so is this one. Outside of that, we still did pretty good overall. I'm super pleased mostly pleased with the straight grade, I should say, on this one. I thought it was clean. I just wanted it authenticated. Crazy. I had to get it authenticated because a lot of these are faked. It's a key date, as you saw, 100,000 minted, and we did get a straight grade. So no matter what happened on the rest of these, that's the big win of the bunch. And yeah, we had a little bit of ding on this one, a little bit less on this one, but overall, I think a decent submission for what I thought I was going to get and what I actually got. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Do you think these are fair grades? Do you agree with my assessment on this 18790? Does it look like this one's clean? Maybe I'm just not good at telling on the older circulation strikes, but man, I thought that was clean and we didn't get a clean grade on it. Crazy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this 10 coin PCGS unboxing video number 19. If you did, I'd appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, happy collecting, man, and thanks for watching.